We're moving on up. A theme song that promised laughter, progress, and the American dream. The Jeffersons was more than just a sitcom, it was groundbreaking, featuring an African-American family rising to success in Manhattan. But behind the laughter, there was a moment, a single scene, that shook the show to its core and nearly got it pulled from the air. Setting the stage. It's the late 1970s. Television is evolving. Sitcoms are bold, addressing race, class, and social issues with humor that could sting as much as it could entertain. The Jeffersons had already pushed boundaries, tackling issues like interracial relationships, prejudice, and upward mobility with a comedic touch. But one episode went too far, at least for the censors and network executives of the time. The episode in question. The infamous episode involved George Jefferson, played by Sherman Hemsley, in a storyline that combined humor with sharp social commentary. Without giving everything away, the scene in question pushed the boundaries of language and cultural sensitivity, highlighted a controversial social issue that network executives feared would spark backlash, showed George in a way that was more abrasive and confrontational than audiences were used to seeing. The writers had intended it as satire, a reflection of real social tensions, but satire has a fine line, and networks in the late 70s were nervous. The network reaction. CBS received hundreds of letters. Some viewers loved the honesty and humor, others were outraged. Executives debated quietly. Should the episode air? Was the scene too controversial for primetime? Could this spark boycotts or advertiser complaints? For a brief moment, the show's future hung in the balance. There were even discussions about pulling the Jeffersons entirely, something almost unheard of for a hit sitcom. Sherman Hemsley's take. Sherman Hemsley, who portrayed George Jefferson, later revealed that the scene was misunderstood by some viewers. We were trying to make people laugh, but also make them think. George was loud, brash, and opinionated, that's what made him funny. Sometimes, the message got lost in the chaos. Hemsley always believed that comedy could challenge audiences while entertaining them, even if it made some people uncomfortable. The aftermath. Despite the uproar, the episode did air, but with tight scrutiny. The network issued warnings, and standards and practices insisted on edits for future syndication. Ironically, the controversy only boosted the show's popularity. Fans tuned in to see what all the fuss was about, and George Jefferson's outrageous antics became even more iconic. The scene didn't destroy the Jeffersons, but it became a cultural talking point, a reminder of how sitcoms in the 70s navigated humor, race, and social issues in a changing America. Why it matters today. Looking back, that infamous scene is more than just controversy. It's a snapshot of a moment in TV history. When shows dared to tackle sensitive topics. When networks feared pushing boundaries. And when a character like George Jefferson could make audiences laugh while forcing them to think. The Jeffersons wasn't just about moving on up, it was about moving television forward, one daring scene at a time.